Hello and good afternoon everyone, I'm GCROCK, and in today's video I just wanted to discuss the next Division 2 update and the possibility of classified gear being added. I feel that this is a high possibility. Nobody knows, I don't know anything either, but I do think it's a high possibility because it is something they did in the Division 1. They added classified gear. It was huge when they did that. I think it was in their title update 8 at the time, I think, and it changed the game. It obviously rebalances the game. It's something that they could do to rebalance the Division 2. Basically, classified gear in the Division 1, how it worked was the 4-piece gear sets turned into 6-piece gear sets, give you more talents and whatnot, more attributes. So that could be something they could certainly do in a Division 2, because at the minute we only have 4-piece gear sets. So if they brought classified gear in, they could increase that to 6-piece gear sets, giving us more variants in builds. Maybe I want to have a look at that today though, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to look back at the Division 1 and see how they did it in that. We'll have a look at the gear sets in the Division 2, or just some of them, and see how they could implement it in that. So if you do enjoy today's video, please do hit like and share to support it. Subscribe to me for more content. Also comment down below your thoughts on today's discussion. Would you like to see classified gear in the Division 2, and how would you implement it? And would you bring back old classified sets as well, like they did strikers at the start of Warlords of New York? Is there any other old gear sets you'd like to see them bring back in a Division 2 that you think would work, especially classified sets as well? So do comment down below. And before you leave today's video, we have a fantastic gaming community as well that is linked down in the video description. I am so close to 100 members on the channel as well now, so if you want to support that way, go and click join on the main channel homepage. We have 15 members off 100. 100 is my end of year goal. Thank you all so much for supporting. It is truly appreciated. So we're going to get straight into this video now. We're going to go back to the Division 1 and we're going to have a look at some classified gear sets on there and how they worked. The first gear set that we'll look at is the Nomad classified gear set. Now this was one of my favorites on the Division 1. It was a favorite of many. It was such a good gear set, and when the 6-piece classified came out, it got even more OP. It was a must-have. So if we have a quick look at how this set worked, you can see that as a 4-piece, how it worked was when you had 2 pieces of Nomad, you got 15% health on kill. It gave you a talent for 3 pieces called Nomad's Resolve, where it granted a constant small amount of healing, allowing the user to regenerate all segments of health bar during combat. For 4 pieces, you got the Path of the Nomad talent, where when receiving fatal damage, you're instead healed to full health, and that can occur once every 4 minutes. So that was the original 4-piece set, and then once they brought in the classified pieces, you had to get all 6 classified. You couldn't like mix normal gear with the classified. So you did need to farm all the pieces again. But for 5 of the classified pieces, you got an additional 10% health on kill with an improved Nomad's Resolve talent, which increases the amount of healing from Nomad's Resolve, and Nomad's Resolve will now overheal, which was very, very good. And for the 6-piece set, you got the Nomad's Luck talent, where you had a 50% chance to have no cooldown for Path of the Nomad when playing solo. I think that actually got nerfed. It wasn't like that originally. And you take 60% less damage for 10 seconds after Path of the Nomad is triggered. So that's what they did with the Nomad set. The 4-piece was, as you can see, very strong as it was. And then they just made it even better by adding a 5th and 6th piece to it with the classified sets. Another one of my favorite gear sets on the Division 1 was the Sentry's Call gear set. Now, as a 4-piece, again, this was super strong as it was. For 2 pieces of Sentry's Call, you got 30% accuracy. For 3 pieces, you got an additional 10% headshot damage. And then for 4 pieces, it gave you the Sentry's Call talent, where headshots using semi-automatic weapons marked the enemy, increasing the damage inflicted on the target by 5% for a duration of 30 seconds each. A target can receive up to 3 marks. But when the classified set came out, it added a 5th bonus there, where you got 15% accuracy and 15% headshot damage. And then the 6-piece bonus was another talent called Improved Sentry's Call, where NPC targets can now receive up to 6 marks. After 1 mark, every headshot on the target has a 50% chance to spread a single mark to additional targets within 25 meters. At 6 marks, your headshot damage on the target is increased by 100%. That was such an overpowered talent. It was so good. And again, as you can see, an already good 4-piece gear set turns into a very, very good 6-piece gear set. And that's exactly what Classified did. And then the last gear set that we're going to look at is the Reclaimer Classified. So many people like this Reclaimer Classified set. I see it all the time. People say that they wish it could bring this over to the Division 2. So let's have a look at what this one did. Now, as a 4-piece Reclaimer set, this was your healer build. 2 pieces of it gave you a 30% support station range. 3 pieces gave you 50% support station duration, and then for 4 pieces of Reclaimer, you got the Talent Reclaimer, where support station gains the benefit of the life support, immunizer, and ammo cache mods at the same time, which was really, really good. But when Classified came out, for 5 pieces of Classified Reclaimer, you got 15% support station range on top, 25% support station duration on top, and then the 6-piece gave you support station health for 50%, support station healing speed of 100%, and improved Reclaimer talent, where support station gains a 40% chance to have no cooldown triggered when it is destroyed by an enemy. This chance is increased by 20% for every 3,000 electronics that you had. So personally, I just stacked all electronics on this build. It was so overpowered as a healer. Like, how I set up most of my strategies for like the flawless legendaries and the flawless incursions was I'd go sentry, which was all out damage with a couple of defense, and we'd have a Reclaimer. I could stay alive in a Reclaimer hive and take so much damage as sentry, which was practically glass cannon. So such a good build. And again, this is just how the Classifieds work on a Division 1. They basically buffed an already good gear set and they became quite overpowered. So how could they do Classified in a Division 2? We're going to start with one of the first gear sets that came to the game, and that was the True Patriot gear set. It's pretty decent. I still use it to this day. Some people have gone off it, but it's very good. It's a great support build, and it's a tank build, you know. Some people actually turn this into a DPS build as well. There's so many things you could do with it, but how True Patriot currently works is for 2 pieces you get 30% ammo capacity, 3 pieces you get 30% magazine size, and then 4 pieces you get the True Patriot talent, which is called Red, White, and Blue, where every 2 seconds enemies you shoot receive a stacking debuff of red, white, and blue. Red amplifies the enemy's damage taken by 8%, white, shooting the enemy repairs the attacking agent's armor by 2% once every second, and blue decreases the enemy's damage dealt by 8%. And at full flag, enemies that die while under the effect of all 3 debuffs create a 5-meter explosion, dealing damage equal to their total health and armor. Explosion damage is reduced on named enemy deaths. So that's currently how True Patriot stands. And what they also did was, if you put on the backpack or the chest, they did have additional talents. So on the backpack for True Patriot, you got the Patriotic Boost, which increased red, right, and blue debuff strength. Red went from 8% to 12%, white went from 2% to 3%, blue went from 8% to 12%, and it required red, right, and blue. There was a chest piece as well, which I don't think I have on this. We can't look at that talent, but the chest piece came with a talent also. So the reason for that was because on the Division 2, backpacks have talents, chests have talents, so the gear sets also did that. If you used them, you could have those talents. But many gear sets, how they work right now is you'll use the mask, holster, knees, and gloves, and you'd mix it with brand sets to make the builds even better, because there's much better backpack talents and chest talents on normal brand set pieces. So if they did bring in like classified sets in the Division 2, it would force you to use this backpack and use the chest piece. So, you know, what would you add to this already decent gear set? I'm thinking they'd probably do the same again, that there were 5 pieces where it's further attributes, and then the 6th piece would probably be another talent. And for True Patriot, for example, I think what a good way of doing this would be, because everybody for a tank build, or a lot of people for a tank build, will use Perfect Vanguard, where it gives shield to everybody. So maybe they do something similar to how people currently use the set, where if you do proc the shield, you will give armor to somebody, maybe at a lesser rate, and then incorporate something else. I don't know. I've got no ideas how they'd implement 5 and 6 piece talents, but that ain't my job. That is theirs. But let me know what you would like for like the True Patriot set. How would you see this as a 6-piece gear set? Another great gear set in the Division 2 is the Future Initiative gear set. How this looks at the minute: for 2 pieces, you get repair skills of 30%, you get 15% skill ace, 30% skill duration for 3 pieces, and then 4 pieces gives you the ground control talent, which increases you and your allies' total weapon and skill damage by 15% when at full armor. When you repair an ally, you and all allies within 5 meters of you are also repaired for 60% of that amount. And with this, with the chest piece, the talent that you get there is tactical superiority, which I absolutely love because it increases ground control damage bonus from 15% to 25%, meaning a future initiative is always in my teams when we're doing raids or whatnot because of that alone. And I think the backpack has a talent that increases the healing. So it's such an OP build as it was, but we just look back at the Division 1 gear sets and they were OP as well. So, you know, I think there's definitely room for improvements in these gear sets, and I think in the next update, if they did bring in classified gear sets, there's certainly something they could do. Again, I don't really have any idea how you'd improve this set. Maybe you bring in like increased range to Hive, if we're thinking back to Reclaimer, kind of turn this into a bit of a Reclaimer gear set, increase healing speed maybe. But yeah, there's certainly things they could do to these gear sets to turn them into 6-piece classifieds. And then one final gear set to have a look at, because we looked at 3 on the Division 1, is a Negotiator's Dilemma gear set. A lot of people currently use this, especially if you're doing a Dark Hours raid, because it makes Boomer very, very easy. And for Negotiator's Dilemma, for 2 pieces, you get 15% crit hit chance, 3 pieces, 20% crit hit damage, and then the 4th piece gives you the Hostile Negotiations talent, where critical hits mark enemies for 20 seconds, up to 3 marks in total. When you critically hit a marked enemy, all other marked enemies take 60% of the damage dealt. Whenever a marked enemy dies, you gain 2% critical hit damage, stacking up to 20 times until the combat ends. Now on the backpack here, you get the additional talent of critical measures, which increases hostile negotiations damage to additional marked enemies from 60% to 100%. And the chest piece I don't have on me, so we can't look at that. But another great gear set. How would you improve this if it came in the next update as a 6-piece classified set? Make sure you let me know in the comments now your thoughts on this. You know, do you think classified gear sets would work in the Division 2? I certainly do, because just looking back at the old game and how overpowered or how powerful the gear sets were in there, they brought in the 6-piece classified sets and they really did change the balance of the game and improve on the game as well. A lot of people enjoyed grinding for those classified sets. I like the way that they did it behind the global events at the time. You could only farm from on global events originally. It was very good how they implemented them, and I believe that they could probably implement classified sets in a new game mode that's coming to Division 2. We know there's a new game mode, and I think to make the most out of a new game mode is that you've got to give plenty of reward. We spoke about this last year with the Summit. The Summit was a great idea, but I think the reward was dreadful, you know? I think once you got that exotic ridgeways and you completed it once, apart from targeted loot and being able to select that, which later came in, there's no replayability, and they called it a very replayable mode. And I think if there was more reward, it would have been. And I feel that maybe this is how they go in the next update. Maybe they tie in classified sets behind this new game mode, forcing players to play it to get these classified sets. Who knows? Classified sets might not even come to the Division 2. I just want to start a conversation today. Something I've been thinking about. I do think they'd work. I think it'd be a great way to rebalance the game as well, if they wanted to do it, and it's something they have done before, so it makes sense to me. And it'd be exciting to see what they came up with each of the gear sets to turn them into 6-piece classified sets. And what new sets will they introduce? Will they bring back any new sets? What old sets would you like to see from the Division 1? Let me know in the comments. This is the end of the video now. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Hit like and share to support this video, as I mentioned earlier. Subscribe if you're new for more content from me. We've got some streams this week as well. We'll talk about them in tomorrow's video in our Division 2 weekly update. So catch that video tomorrow. If I don't see you then, I'll see you tomorrow live in stream. We're going live at 8 p.m. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to go and check out our community now. It's linked at the top of the video description. Until next time, stay safe and peace out.